If you are a founder running a 5, 10, or 20% team and you're about to make a senior hire, there is a mistake you're probably about to make that costs founders somewhere between $200 to $600,000. The Department of Labor will tell you a single bad hire costs about 30% of that person's first year salary. But they are wrong. The real number is closer to 4 times that, and I'll show you why in a minute. As a former COO, I scaled a fintech company from 5 million to 19.2 million annual revenue across different countries, working with over 200 employees remotely. And at that scale, the wrong senior hire is not going to affect the company that much. It still hurts, but not that much. At your scale, it destabilizes the entire business. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what the mistake actually is, why even smart founders like yourself keep making it, and the simple shift that fixes it. Let's get into it. Quick context before we dive into the video. The US Department of Labor says a bad hire costs about 30% of first year salary. So if you hire someone at $100,000 and it fails, you lose about $30,000. Sounds manageable, right? It's not. Because that number only counts what you paid. It doesn't count what you lost. Lost productivity, team morale, your time trying to fix it, clients sleeping, and the projects get delayed. When you factor everything in, the real number is closer to 2 to 4 times annual salary. So if you hire someone at $150,000 annual salary, you're not losing $45,000. You're losing somewhere between $300,000 and $600,000. And here's what nobody tells you. As a founder, you absorb this damage far more than a big company. A bad hire in a 5% team destroys your momentum. But a bad hire at a company at the level of Amazon or IBM is another normal Tuesday. And this is not a small problem. This is one of the most expensive decisions you'll ever make. And somehow, almost everyone gets it wrong. So what's the mistake here? It's very simple. Most founders hire for their resume. They should be hiring for the role instead. It sounds very obvious, right? But it's not. You finally have the budget, you're hiring for your first senior person, it can be your head of sales, operations lead, VP level, and you start writing a job description, you post it, and you start interviewing people. Then you find someone who looks perfect on resume. They have a great background, company-wise, matching title, years of experience. They are very polished and they say the right thing during the interview. And you think, oh, finally, I found someone that is ideal for this position. So you hire them. What happens next is that 3 months to 6 months down the line, nothing's working. They're not delivering, your team is confused, and you're stepping back into the business. And you're wondering what happened here. Here's what happened. You hired the resume, but you never defined the role for that position. You hire someone who managed a team of 40 inside a fully built company with systems, processes, brands, leads, and budget. Then you drop them into your 7% company. And you don't have any of that. You don't have systems, no processes, no leads, no budget like big companies, right? And you expect the same performance from this person. And that's not their failure, to be honest. That's yours. So why do smart founders like yourself keep doing this and keep making the same mistake? There are 3 reasons. One is pressure. The role's been open for too long and it's costing you money. So you hire the best of 3 candidates instead of waiting for 15, 20, 25. And the best of 3 is almost never actually good fit for you. And you just make a decision because you don't know it yet. Number 2 is that you're hiring for the future. You hire someone who would be amazing 2 years from now on. When you have the systems, when you have the built team around it, and you have the processes, But right now, you need someone who can build all of that. And those are completely different people. Managers versus builders and entrepreneurs. And most senior hires are just managers. Early stage companies need entrepreneurial mindset. And number three is ego. And this is the one nobody talks about. Hiring someone with a big name on their resume makes you feel legitimate. You can say that, yeah, we just hired someone from Google, from IBM, from Amazon. And it's just a status move. You disguised it as a strategy to brag about it, but it's going to be very expensive for you. I've seen this mistake happen so many times, and I've seen that companies hired people from big names, but they didn't perform. Because when you hire someone from a big corporation, they don't have the mindset to build. They already operated inside a well-working system. And they couldn't function, unfortunately, and you lose a lot of money and time. So when I tell you this one, it just comes from my own experience as well. I've seen it, I've made this mistake too, and I paid for it. But here's the fix. It's very simple, not going to be easy, but very simple. Before you write a job description, you answer three questions. Number one is that what does success looks like 12 months from now? Be very specific, not build a great sales function. That's just the wish or a part of your vision. Say something like, build a pipeline of 1.5 million and close $800,000 in revenue. That's clarity and specific. Question number two is that what does this person actually do in the first 90 days? This filters out your bad hires because a corporate senior hire will say that that's an SDR job, that's execution, I do a strategy. That's absolutely perfect. That's the conversation that you need to have before hiring, not after. Question number three is that what environment do they need to perform in? Do they need a structure or they can build it? Do they need to have a team or can they execute solo as well? Do they need a brand behind them to perform or can they create momentum from zero? If you cannot answer three, do not interview. You're not ready for it. Every interview without clarity is just a gamble and it's going to be expensive. But once you have the answers, then you write the job description. You describe the role, not just the resume, and in interviews, test for the role. You can ask questions like, how would you build a pipeline from zero in 90 days with no SDRs and no leads? Watch how they think and how they answer. And that's going to be the interview. Not general questions like, tell me about your time at Salesforce, right? Those are not going to help you. And here's why this matters and it's very important. When you get the hiring right, your entire business changes. Because one great hire does what 50 resumes promised. The right person can take you from 1.5 million to $4 million in annual revenue in 2 years. And it's not all about of good marketing. It's not because you have the funding and backing. It's because you finally hire someone who can run the operation. Hiring is your most leveraged decisions that you'll ever make in a business. More than product, more than pricing, more than marketing. Because the right hire compounds. And also the wrong hire compounds the other way around. So you need to slow down, answer the three questions, and hire for the role and for the results, not for the resume. If you are sitting on a senior hire right now that is not working, or you're about to make a big decision to hire someone from big names, this is exactly the conversations I have with founders and CEOs as part of my advisory services. If you want to learn more about it, click the link in the description. And if you got value out of this video, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.